Hello, target shooters and coaches. After several months of trying to find the optimal solution for a target frame holder for my daughter so that she can practice in the garage in our house, but also the local school district was thinking about starting up an air rifle team. So I wanted to come up with a solution that was practical money-wise. I know CMP has a backstop, but it's several $1,000s for an 8-point firing range. So I wanted to get something that was more practical. This setup actually cost me about $55 to put together, and this is what I did a short little video here to show you how I put this together. But it's got 1/4 inch polycarbonate plastic sheets. There's 3 of them that are $12 each. The foam boards are $1.50 each. They'll be probably replaced, I would assume, once the season, because in theory, if you're shooting holes, in the same spot, as long as you keep them the black, as long as you can hit the thumbtacks in, you really don't need to change these boards around. And then you have two 2x4, by 8s, which are whatever, $6 each. So really a fairly inexpensive solution. Optimally, I think the best thing, a lot of schools were using steel. I saw on YouTube videos like 10-inch gauge steel, but with the price of steel being so expensive, it really, I'd say, would bring it up like another $20 a point, probably, something like that. Optimally, instead of having 3 pieces of plastic, I would perhaps put a 4th one in, so that gives you a little bit of an adjustment as far as height and stuff like that. Just gives you a little bit more flexibility. There are other solutions. I did experiment with carpet, this, that, and everything works fine as far as random shots go. If you say you missed a backstop, but hitting the same spot over and over again, the pellet would eventually go through the carpet or tarp or whatever you're trying to use. So for a backstop, that's, again, if you have beginners, you say, well, what happens if I'm shooting back here and you miss completely? Well, if you have a tarp in the back behind that, that'll be good enough just to stop those random shots, like a heavy duty backstop of some sort that can be taken up and down. So this is, I think this worked out to be a really good option. You can just check out this video right away and see what you think. This is Kedora ballistic vinyl nylon that I purchased on Amazon Prime for about $13 a yard. So it's 3 yards here. I was using this to have it up just in case we have like stray shots that actually miss the actual target. In the beginning, just this is a test. I used it as the actual backstop, and after about a month and a half of shooting twice a week, none of the pellets actually went through. So it's actually pretty good, but I don't know how long-term that would hold up of shooting day after day after the same exact spot. But I think it's a excellent choice for a backstop for stray shots. I believe probably just a heavy-duty canvas tarp would probably do just as well, because you gotta figure it's only gonna happen once in a while. So the next thing I'm doing is taking down the old target frame that I put together that was actually holding up the targets. And I got the foam things for about $1.25 at the dollar store. So they're easy to replace, and if you're hanging the targets in the exact same spot each time, I'm sure the holes will be pretty consistent, so you could probably last an entire season. So I've got to take this apart and actually shrink it down, because I'm going to use 1/4 inch polycarbonate plastic to use as an actual backstop to start the pellets. Again, I got them as well on Amazon Prime. They're about $13 a sheet for 12 by 12. So I'm going to put that up there for standing, prone, and kneeling. And then we'll see how it works, and we'll get to work. So I kind of did this a little bit of a lazy way. Instead of taking the old target frame completely apart, I just took off the side, and I'm gonna just kind of slide it in. And measurement-wise, I just sort of made it so that the plastic obviously overlaps it a little bit. You can see it's the same size as the target. I'll have prone on the bottom. And having the extra piece there, I guess, won't be the end of the world, because what I plan to do is on the front, of course, where they hang the targets, is to put sort of that on there anyway. So it'll just give it a place to tack it. The thought process of not trimming down the white foam is to give yourself a better sight picture. When aiming at the target, you'll have a thing of white around the the area, so it'll be easier for the kids to aim and stuff like that. So all right, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so that I guess went okay. Next thing is I'm going to drill holes in here, 4 holes here to hold this plastic in place. I got a drill bit, and this I'm kind of nervous about. I hope it doesn't crack the plastic or anything like that, but I'm assuming I need to drill holes before I put the screws. So if this video continues, you'll assume that obviously it was a success. Okay, that worked. Mission accomplished. I'll drill the rest of these 3 holes, and then I'll figure out where I'm going to put the kneeling and standing and stuff like that, and I'll see where the next stage goes. I finished drilling everything on, and it looks pretty good. I think optimally you would want to have maybe a 4th sheet in between these 2, so you can raise this here and I guess perhaps lower that. Just gives you a little bit more flexibility as far as hanging the kneeling and standing targets. I measure these based on what my daughter would use for standing. She's a little bit shorter than me. For myself, I'm 6 foot, so I would go maybe a little bit higher. But again, I wasn't 100% sure this was going to work, and I wanted to do it on the least expensive way possible for the school. So next thing I'm going to do is, before I put the foam boards over the complete top and cover it, I want to take a practice shot and just see how it holds up. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try and live stream this. What I did is I just thumbtacked the foam board to the wooden frame just to hold it in place. And I wanted to target there just so I can see, you know, if something bounces back, you'll see a ricochet hole or something like that. So I'm just going to aim at the target in here, see how it goes. And okay, not too bad. It wasn't loud. And we'll take a quick peek. Put the rifle down. My daughter's air rifle, and I'm sure it was a horrible shot. I wasn't really trying to center this thing or anything. So there it was, it's right here. So it went through with no problem. Nothing came back. We'll take a look at the actual backstop now. Take this off, take that off, and that's fine. Looks really good, actually. The only thing you went through is the paper. This is just a foam, put whatever plastic covering in it. But I don't feel anything at all on the 1/4 inch plastic polycarbonate. I think that's going to be a success. So next thing I'll do is I'll put the foam board on the front of it, whatever, hanging up the target, and I'll show you the final look, how it turned out. Actually, I'm pretty happy so far. This is the final product. The only thing left to do is I need to make markings on here for where the prone, kneeling, and standing backers are, so that obviously the kids can line up the targets in a correct position. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and mark, just like punch a hole in it from the back, and then take a marker and just make a mark. And the next thing I do is I'll put the whole thing back up over here and take a couple of shots to see how it goes. I know it's a little bit of a mess, hard to figure, like, well, how are you going to shoot prone, kneeling, standing here? Well, Holly typically shoots standing in our garage for air rifle, and she shoots position most of the time at actually the Blacksburg Rod and Gun Club. So we don't do that often, but I want to have it set up so obviously she can do that. During the winter time, we actually shoot inside the house through one bedroom to another bedroom into a tiny little hallway to get the distance she needs to shoot practice air rifle at home. So again, I'll get this all completed and put together, and we'll take one more practice shot, see how it goes. Very quick, I just marked the target spots. I wanted just to show you that before I hang up the targets, because you can't really see them that well afterwards. But we have the prone area, kneeling, and of course standing area. Final product, I got all the targets hung. I just threw them up there just so we can see how it looks like. And I took the extra foam boards that I just had laying around, just to, again, spread out the white area, so when she's looking through her sights, she just gets a better sight picture. It's nothing like obviously necessary, but I had it sitting around, figure to reflect the light just a little bit. If she was going to shoot prone, obviously I got to move these wires out of the way and adjust the lights and stuff like that. But let's see how this goes one last time. I'll go pick up an air rifle. And we'll lay this on here, I guess. Up, and I'll take an aim in. Hopefully this time will go a little bit better. I did hear it strike the backstop. Okay. But that's the plastic it's hitting. Of course, it's going to make a sound. But it shot in, and nothing ricocheted out. Everything's good. I'm sure the pellet is trapped inside down the bottom. Optimally, my 2x4s have a little bit of a curve to it. So in theory, if you put these foam boards on and the plastic on the back, the pellets should hit the back, just drop down the bottom and stay inside this backstop area. And every once in a while, when we change the foam boards, just sort of dump it out and clean out all the pellets inside there. But I think what I'm going to have to do is take some tape of some sort, one of those heavy duty, like, duct tape or something, and just duct tape over that hole just so that the pellets don't fall out and hit on the floor or anything like that. But I think this was a success. I'm trying to remember the overall cost was, I don't know, maybe, again, the 2x4s are about $6 each. You need 2 of those. And I believe the plastic was like, I don't know, $13 a piece. So it was probably like, I don't know, it came to, I think, about $38 for the plastic. It was about $4.50 for the foam. So you're talking maybe, it's definitely under $50 overall. I think it's to put something like this together. You have 8 points. That's about $400 for an 8-point shooting range. I know that you can buy ones from the store like CMP and stuff like that, but they're really, really expensive for an 8-point firing point. I think it's going to be like $3,000 or $4,000 and stuff like that, which is just crazy when you're trying to just put together a budget. So hopefully this is helpful to some people, and I'll have Holly practicing it and see how it goes over the next week or two.